Alright, so notes on factoring round 2. So, even though this is round 2, the first thing we are still going to look for is a GCF. So, 24, 42, and 216 absolutely have a number that goes into each of those, which is 6. Uh, quick fun fact, if you'd like to know it. If not, feel free to skip ahead a little bit. Divisibility trick for you. You can tell that 2 goes into each of these because they are even. Okay. And you can tell that 3 goes into each of these because when you add their digits, 3 goes into them. So 2 plus 4 is 6, and 3 goes into 6. 4 plus 2 happens to also be 6, and 3 goes into 6. And then 2 plus 1 plus 6 is 9, and 3 goes into 9. So 3 goes into these numbers. Okay? Because sum of digits. That is how I figure out quickly what numbers go into things. So if 2 and 3 both go into them, then 6 goes into them. Okay? Just kind of a, fun fact for you. Because 2 times 3 is 6, alright. They both also have A's, not just A's, but A squared is the lowest exponent on it, so we can take out an A squared from each. So that leaves us with 24 divided by 6 is 4. A to the 4th divided by A squared is A squared. 42 divided by 6 is 7. A cubed divided by A squared is A. Bring down the B. 216 divided by 6 is 36. And then we've got a B squared, and A squared divided by A squared is 1, so leaves it off there. Now we're down to an A squared, an A, and no A's. And I know that there's a B squared, a B, and no B's going in reverse. Okay? So, this is a good old factoring problem. We're going to make our little square guy for it. Alright? Ooh. Ooh. Alright, so we got 4a squared. We've got negative 36b squared. It's going to work out, don't worry. Do not freak out that there's another variable in there. You will see ones like that. It still works out. That's why this thing is magical. Alright, so we're going to multiply our a and our c here. So 4 times negative 36 gives you negative 144. So we want numbers that multiply to give us negative 144. But when we add them up, they are negative 7. Now, just like we talked about before, for multiplying to get a negative, this means that we have to have a positive and a negative. Okay? Because we're adding to get a negative number, the bigger number needs to be a negative number. So, whenever I see 144, the first thing I think of is 12 and 12, but that adds up to give me 0, so that doesn't work. So we gotta go a little bit further apart of numbers in this. Well, we know that 3 and 36 formed this number. So 4 and 36, since we're multiplying to get a negative, the 36 would have to be negative. And that gives us a negative 32. So that's too far apart. So I know that the numbers need to be closer than these guys. Well, 36 is also even. So we can try 8. Because there's a 2 that we can take out of here and put in this guy. That would turn it into an 8. And then we would divide that one by 2, which would give us an 18. 18 is the bigger number, but that's going to give us a negative 10. We're getting closer to negative 7. Let's see, 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. Ooh, 9 goes into this number. So 9 times 16. Oh, there we go. That works. So that is our winner. Alright, so we've got 9ab, because it's whatever variables are in that middle term, and negative 16ab. And then same thing we've been doing. So what can you take out of the first column? They both are divisible by 4, and they both have an a. Second column, both divisible by 9. We're going with a positive 9. And they both have a b. In this first row, 4 and 9 don't share anything, but they both have an A in them. And in the second row, we're going to take out a negative 4 with a B. So we've got 4A plus 9B, and we've got A minus 4B. Alright, there's number 1. Moving on. This guy is awesome and already set up. Because there are 4 terms here, we can throw this directly into our square. I'll make it really big because there's a bunch of variables with it. Even though there's a ton of variables, it doesn't matter. This first guy is 5AH. Notice that this one also has an A and this one also has an H, but this one is totally different, and they should be written for you in order for the most part. Maybe I'll show you guys what one looks like as a warm-up that isn't. Doesn't matter which one of these goes into which one of these guys. We've got 6AK, and we've got negative 40XH. Column, we can take out a 5, and we can take out an H. Column, we can take out a positive 6 and a K. Row, only an A here, and row, a negative 8X. And that is your answer. Whenever you have an even number of terms, it makes it so much easier. This works with 6 also, by the way, which is totally crazy. Maybe I'll show you one of those for warm-up, too. Boom, you're done. Next on Miss Holly's notes. Alright, this guy does not have a middle term. So, you can rewrite this, and we've got A's and B's going on, so we'd have 0AB in the middle, and this will work out the same way. So you can still rock your square within squares, square inception. Take it, 16A squared and a negative B squared, and again we want to multiply 16 and a negative 1 here. And multiplies to give us a negative 16, and we want it to add up to give you a 0. Hopefully this answer jumps out at you. If you're going to add up to 0, we need 4 and negative 4. Okay, so 4AB and negative 4AB. First column, we can take out a 4A. Second column, we can take out AB. This guy, we can take out a 4A. This guy, we can take out a negative B. So, what we have here is 4A plus B and 4A minus B. Ding, 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 ding! Did you notice? It is a conjugate. Same exact terms, different symbol between. Okay? The whole purpose of conjugates is to get rid of this middle term, to make it turn into a 0. So, that means there's a shortcut. If you would like the trick, if you like making everything standard like this, ignore the trick and move on. Okay? For those of you who would like the trick, I shall share it with you now. We're going to square root everything. We've got this guy minus this guy. Sorry, I got a little overzealous with my square rooting. Square root of 16, square root of a squared, square root of b, that's square 2. So we set this guy up. We put one's going to be a plus and one's going to be a minus. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of a squared is a. Square root of b squared is b. So you just square root everything. So if you notice that there is no middle term, you may absolutely use this trick as long as it is a minus sign. Because, sneaking back here, the only reason that it works is we have 4AB minus 4AB, right? We're multiplying to get a negative, which means we have to deal with a negative and a positive. If this was a positive number, we'd have 2 positives or 2 negatives. There's no way they could cancel out to give you 0. Okay? Alright, last one. I'm going to use the trick for this one. And if you want to try to do it without the trick, that would be super awesome of you. So I'm going to jump right in here. I know one's going to be a plus. I know one's going to be a minus. And I'm going to square root everything. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of a to the 4th is a squared. Square root of 81 is 9. And square root of b to the 4th is b squared. It's called the difference of perfect squares. Okay? So this guy, because there's a plus signs are positive, they're good to go. We just let them hang out. There's nothing that we need to do with them. So this guy just hangs out and he stays here. But this guy has a minus sign with it, so this can actually be broken down again into another difference of perfect squares. So we can square root everything again and give me a plus and a minus. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of a squared is a. Square root of 9 is 3. And the square root of b squared is b. So now our exponents are down to the first powers, or we have a plus sign instead of a minus sign. So we are good and done. Try those other two, get all points.